The village of Eldermere had long feared the Blackwood. Deep within its tangled heart stood a crumbling manor, whispered to be home to 5 witches, sisters bound not by blood, but by fate. Each had been stolen as a child, raised in shadow and secrecy, rumored to possess terrible powers. The villagers spoke of curses and spells, but none dared venture close enough to confirm the tales. Then came a bitter winter, harsher than any before. The river froze, crops withered, and hunger crept into every home like a slow-moving specter. Hope seemed lost, until a stranger arrived. The stranger's gamble. Lena Whitmore was not like the other villagers. A traveler by trade, she had seen the world beyond Eldermere, a world where not all was as it seemed. She carried no fear of the witches, only curiosity. And when she heard of the suffering, she made a bold proclamation. "I will go to them," she announced in the village square. "I will ask for their help." The villagers gasped, horrified. "They will take your soul," an elder warned. "They will turn you into one of them," another whispered. But Lena merely smiled. "Perhaps," she said. "Or perhaps, they will listen." The Manor of the 5. Lena ventured into the Blackwood at dusk, following the winding, ice-bitten paths to the witch's manor. The door creaked open before she could knock, as if expecting her. Inside, 5 women stood in a half-circle, each draped in midnight-colored robes. Their beauty was eerie, their presence commanding. "You are bold," the eldest remarked. "Or foolish," the second added. The third witch, sharp-eyed and silent, merely observed her. The fourth sneered. "What do you seek?" But the 5th, the youngest, the one whose heart still held a flicker of warmth, stepped forward. "You are not afraid?" she asked. "No," Lena replied. "I seek your help. The village is dying. There is no food. No warmth. We will not last the winter." The witches exchanged glances. "And what will you offer in return?" the eldest inquired. Lena hesitated. She had nothing. No gold, no land, no power. Only herself. "Take me," she said. "Do as you wish with me, but spare my people." The youngest witch gasped, while the others studied her with new interest. Then, the eldest laughed, a deep, weary sound. "You offer yourself, believing we are monsters," she said. "But tell me, Lena Whitmore, has your village ever once offered us kindness?" Lena opened her mouth, then closed it. She knew the answer. The villagers had only ever spoken of the witches with fear and hatred, though none had ever suffered at their hands. "We were stolen," the youngest said softly. "Taken from families who forgot us. We have never cursed your people. Yet they curse us." Lena's heart ached. "Then why stay here?" she asked. "Why let the world believe you are wicked?" "Because," the third witch finally spoke, "the world only believes what it wishes to." The witch's gift. For a long moment, silence filled the manor. Then, the eldest witch stepped forward, touching Lena's forehead with a single cold fingertip. "You are different," she murmured. A strange warmth spread through Lena, as if unseen hands lifted a veil from her mind. She gasped, understanding blooming in her heart. The witches were not the threat. They were the forgotten. The lost. "We will help your people," the eldest declared. "But not with spells. Come." She led Lena to a hidden chamber, where shelves overflowed with preserved food, warm blankets, and medicines untouched by time. "This is what we have hoarded, believing none would ever deserve it," she said. But you have given us reason to hope. The 5 witches, no longer villains, but protectors, returned with Lena to Aldermere, their arms filled with provisions. The villagers, at first, cowered in terror. But as hunger met generosity, fear crumbled. And so, the 5 witches became 5 brides, not of men, but of fate, bound forever to a village that had finally seen them for what they truly were. Not monsters. Not curses. But salvation. A new dawn. When spring arrived, so did change. No longer were the witches whispered about in fear, but in reverence. The manor doors remained open, and in time, the Blackwood was no longer a place of nightmares, but of healing. And Lena Whitmore? She remained with them, neither witch nor villager, but something new. A bridge between 2 worlds. A reminder that sometimes, salvation comes not from magic or power, but from the simple, fearless act of seeing beyond the stories we are told.